What's up, winners? I'm Sylvia Jaglam, and over a decade or even longer, I have been obsessed with everything around people, around how to develop, how to turn ideas into reality, and this is all based on change and transformation, especially in this digital world. I have been learning, studying, and applying. I was one of the youngest HR consultants for an executive and was leading change projects within the biggest telecommunication merger in Europe. And I am today combining and blending Eastern and Western knowledge in order to help you to change the way the world works so we can all have more efficiency, productivity, and engagement and actually transform and change successfully. I have been doing this for ages and ages by myself, from almost homeless into a successful corporate high flyer, and today an excited and passionate entrepreneur supporting leaders and entrepreneurs like you within startups, SMEs, and Fortune 500 companies to create and make the difference they actually crave for. So don't expect any conventional HR and kind of those topics around this, but of course everything what is combined from Street Smart and Book Smart and many other things here on this podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am excited to go with you on this journey and winx today. How to establish a culture of learning for your remote team. Hello and welcome to winx.today with me, Sylvia Jagler, your host, one of the podcasts with me personally. You can find on Sunday interviews with experts, guests within this podcast that are talking about their area of expertise. And I am focusing on business, leadership, disruption, and development. Two aspects of that. Currently, though, focusing on helping you to guide and lead and manage everything which comes along with remote work, especially because most of us are currently forced to work from home and are therefore also not only facing the great things that I believe are coming with remote work for your team, but also, of course, with some challenges that might be caused because we are currently in a global pandemic. I'm coming to you today here from Nice, France, so please forgive me that the quality might not be the best because I got stuck here locked down without my gear, but still was committed and dedicated to share with you what is on my heart and support you within this unmapped territory where you have to, as a leader, as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, where you have to basically map out a path for your team. And one of those things that are absolutely crucial, not only right now, but also, of course, in the future, is a learning culture. According to LinkedIn's 2019 Workplace Learning Report, 95% of employees would have stayed at a company longer if they would have been given better learning and development opportunities. This means that many people, especially millennials, Generation Y and Z, are eager to learn and to grow. Leading a remote team can make it challenging to focus on your team's development. You don't see each other face to face, you don't meet each other, you can maybe not see straight away when someone is struggling with something. However, today, learning is more important than ever before. I was just having someone on my podcast, I will share it with you soon, where we talk about new technology and how leaders and companies can take away any kind of fear and uncertainty when it comes to the evolution of technology. And I am dedicated to elevate people in order to be able to use this amazing new technology that is here to support us, to serve us, and to make our life easier. Especially right now, this current unprecedented change provides an opportunity to help your team to strengthen their skills and find resilience. Yet, on average, only 12% of professionals are able to apply what they have learned. So maybe you find yourself right now in a situation where you don't have so much workload for your people. Maybe they are working from home and you want to support them to grow and to develop. However, at the moment, not only we can have access to very, very cheap and also very easy to access courses, we have to make sure that this is done successfully. So, how can you reinforce a culture of learning to keep your team's engagement and growth? I will share with you today 6 steps or 6 topics that I would invite you to consider and see if this applies to you. Please take whatever resonates with you and with your situation and skip whatever doesn't. So if you're leading a whole organization that is currently actually doing many new things, have to change new things, this might not be the best time. But on the other hand, if you are currently having a team that is not fully occupied, maybe some of your orders has been skipped due to this global pandemic, you have the opportunity right now to support your people to understand that this time can be an opportunity to grow. And when you are in a department right now for learning and engagement, leadership and engagement, those 6 steps might be interesting to you as well. So let's tune in and let's get started. The first point is use microlearning that helps your team to get motivated, to get it actually done and put it into their calendar easily. I invite you to look at this as something that is covering one topic, maybe a little bit deeper, rather than many, many different topics just on a surface. So this is all what it is about, to really understand one topic and see how this can be useful for each and every single one who is actually learning it, and how can they then transfer this knowledge into their daily work. The second part is all about focusing on short lessons, run about 3 to 10 minutes on a single topic to support your team and yourself to digest the content. So the longer it is, the more attention it requires. And today, our attention span is around about 8 seconds. So the shorter the lessons are, the easier it is for us to get it in, to remember it, and then to be able to apply it. The third point is all about enabling your team, your people, and yourself in self-directed identification of learning areas. I just saw a post from a friend of mine. Her boss encouraged her to look into topics that are interesting for her, that are going to serve her at work, so she can basically take on the responsibility, what she will focus on, and is therefore also more engaged in doing so because she is in charge what she will learn. So inviting you to support and provide as much freedom as possible when it comes to choosing the area of learning for your people. The fourth part is about implementing a buddy system or assign a peer coach for accountability. Like mentioned at the beginning, on average only 12% of the people are able to apply what they have learned at work. So in order to take the most out of it and support not only your business to get what you want them to learn, but also to support your people to actually learn it and create a whole reward and satisfaction out of this experience that will then actually pay into the productivity, efficiency, and engagement at work, is to provide any kind of buddy system where people are checking in with each other, where they support each other to learn, or to provide any kind of peer coaching, so the accountability is as high as possible to learn and to then finally be able to apply it. The next topic, number 5, is about tracking the results and evaluating the impact of learning. Impact of learning is something what will support your team members to see how they have done and how they can now apply their learning at work. Evaluation of all the results will pay into the topic what we were just talking about before. It pays into the accountability. Because when we see what we have achieved, when we see what we are lacking, it will support each and every single one of us to focus on the right things in order to succeed at the end. And this is what we want to when we actually take some time or even money for any kind of topic to learn. And last but not least, invite team members to share what they have learned in short meetings. This is one of the greatest things what you can do, especially for those who are maybe introverted or a little bit shy, so they don't speak up on a regular basis in team meetings, especially when we are talking about working remotely. So this is sometimes challenging for people to start to raise their voice. And in this kind of situation where you give someone the space to share what they have learned, will not only support them to be visible, another topic that is crucial within remote teamwork, but it will also support them to repeat what they have learned, to create a deeper understanding about it, and see that they have gotten a lot of credit for it within the whole company. I consider myself as a lifelong learner and invite you to support your team, your workforce, to start to learn one thing after another, because this will also be absolutely beneficial in any kind of change or transformation project, especially when it comes to digitalization, where we have to understand how to work with new tools, new programs, etc. So let's sum it up. Generally speaking, people love acknowledgement and recognition. Just by providing them the opportunity to go for any kind of learning development opportunities, you start to recognize them. Especially the younger learners, they just love it. Make sure to recognize their progress, and your team engagement and satisfaction will skyrocket even in those challenging times. So the first point was to use microlearning. Second point, to focus on short lessons. Third point, enable self-directed identification of the area of learning. Fourth part is to implement a buddy system or any kind of accountability. Fifth part, track the results and evaluate the impact of learning. Sixth part, invite team members to share it in the company with others so you can multiply whatever one person learned straight away, very fast, very easy, and not only the learner is happy but also everybody around as well. Establishing a culture of learning for your remote team can be a little bit challenging at the beginning. Don't worry, there is always a way. It's just a process where we have to be a little bit patient with our people, with the way how we are doing things, especially at the moment. However, I would highly encourage and invite you to start to support each and every single one of your team members to learn. Why? Because this will allow them to adapt to any kind of change way better, way easier, because whatever is coming up, we have to start to learn new things within new teams, within new organizations, within new setups of processes, within new sales of products or services. So our business, any kind of business, require to change, and therefore we have to support each and every single one within the company to be able to change as well, and support them to strengthen the resilience muscle by choice, and not to surprise them that they have to change when the change is actually really required and there is no other way than just to start to do things in a different way. This global pandemic forced many businesses to pivot and to reorganize them. For some it's natural, and for some others it was a big surprise. This was not the first crisis, it will not be the last crisis, and in order to be able to go through this kind of process and to be able to find ourselves in charge within unmapped territory, a learning culture is one of the big topics paying into this, supporting your business to survive, but also supporting people to feel that this is something where they can do something by themselves as well when you consider those 6 topics. And yes, there is no one size fits all. However, when you consider those 6 steps and see if you can apply them in one or another way, in your unique way, on your own terms, it will support you to establish a culture of learning. And yes, nowadays I have to admit that I grow and learn on a daily basis, almost 8 weeks completely by myself, 100% self-isolated and quarantined. So thank you so much for bearing with me during this time. Don't forget, we all do our best every single day, and see how we can start to operate and adjust within these challenging times. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope this was insightful, informative, or inspiring. I would love to hear your number one takeaway. Come on over to winx.today and share it in the comments below. You can also provide any kind of question around remote work solutions, business and leadership growth, as well as holistic HR topics. I look forward to provide an aid to your queue. Stay tuned, winner, and don't forget, we can win X today.